Good evening, everybody. Welcome to She Said, She Said. Tonight, we have a really interesting guest. It's a lady who's a doctora. She's Dr. Livi Castillo, who will talk to us about water and sanitation. She is the UN advisory on that. So she said that it's so nice to have a guest who's both beauty and brains.
And she said that it's so nice that she wants to save the world.
Yes.
So, welcome.
Hello, Doctora.
How should we call you?
Just Livi.
Livi.
Oh,
Okay,
for Olivia. Livy.
I like Olivia.
Yeah.
I mean, I like your
Livy's
real
cute
name,
too.
but I also like Livy.
Yes.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity to appear in your program, and I hope that women will also do likewise in the future.
Yes,
Right.
we're very excited. Okay, so tell us exactly. Your position is
I'm an advisory. I'm on the advisory board of the UN Secretary General, which used to be Kofi Annan. That was in 2004.
Right.
In fact, when he called, I was in Malaysia, and my husband was the one who answered the phone and asked if I would want to be a member. And he said, yes, yes, yes. without
yes
asking.
for you. Yes, she'd like to. Yes, my wife
That's
would
a
like
good
to be
answer.
a member.
Yes.
Yeah, we must commend your husband for that.
The husband is actually here on the
Yes.
set. He's so sweet to bring her here. Thank you very much,
Yes.
husband.
Yes.
Okay, so you are based here in the Philippines.
I'm based here. We meet the group. We were originally 13, and proud to say I was the only Asian woman, aside from the chair, who is Prime Minister Hashimoto.
Yeah.
And we were only 13. And then the NGOs and the other sectors complained. And because most of the members were really high-powered members, like OECD Secretary Guria, who is now in Paris. He was the
Right.
Minister of Finance. All of the other members were ministers and so forth.
Yes.
So I was wondering why I was chosen. So they added about 7 more members, and we're about 4 or 5 Asians in the board, but still the only woman Asian.
Ah, okay. Okay, why do you think you were chosen? I mean, what was your background?
I've been with the environment since 1998, and that's the same question everybody has been asking me, and I myself have been asking. But I guess because I'm one of the founding members of the Asia Pacific Roundtable for Cleaner Production. It used to be in 1998 in Thailand. We formed that body, and I mobilized and mentored that organization to the 8th conference, which was held in Cebu. And that's how, when QT and I met, I told her, oh, we had our big conference in Cebu,
Right.
and we like Cebu very much. And that's how we started comparing notes.
I wish
Yes.
I knew her back then.
Yes, I also told her I wish I knew her back then,
Right.
because we brought the, this is to backtrack. Prime Minister Hashimoto moved our body to have a compendium of actions for water and sanitation. But unfortunately, he died in 2006. That was
Right.
May,
Yes.
of which Kofi Annan term was up to December. So Kofi Annan asked the Crown Prince of Netherlands, Prince Willem, to be the next chair to take over Hashimoto's place and
Yes.
position. But if he, that was July, and Kofi Annan stepped down December. So the Crown Prince met with the new incoming Ban Ki-moon in November. So Ban Ki-moon was so nice and extended the term to 2010. So it was fortunate for
Yes.
us,
Right.
because our body, it's unusual. They say this is the first time that the body has been, usually it only lasts 1 to 3 years.
Okay, so you travel a lot.
travel
She just
a
arrived
lot.
last night.
Oh, oh, thank you very much.
Hours ago.
Yeah,
I
I'm
hope-
on, in fact, I always tell people I'm about to retire because I'm on my 10th passport for the past 10 years and I go almost every month.
I like that job.
Yes. How
I'm-
long are you away when you leave?
2-3 days. I'm asked to
Oh,
be a
that's
speaker.
tiring. Yes.
Like
That's
this
tiring.
one, I was a speaker in the UNESCO Water Forum.
Yes.
Last month, I came from Sweden.
Yes.
This was the University of Lund University. They have an international institute for
Yes.
environment. And again, I feel so proud because there were only 4 of us, a British, German, Swedish, and we were asked to evaluate the university's master and doctoral program for the
Right.
past 7 years.
Wow,
Yeah,
interesting.
very interesting.
So you, since you're the only what? You're the only um, female, Asian.
Yes.
Okay, but don't we need more people from the Philippines? I mean,
Exactly.
Or
No,
can you
that's what-
handle everything?
We've been having, in fact, the one in Cebu is our second conference here.
Yes.
And we have been inviting, there are usually 300 participants from all over the world and the Philippines.
Ah, okay.
And then we have programs here in the Philippines. So it's not all the travel. There are
of work.
follow-ups after that.
In fact, I asked her to invite me to her seminar, so
Yes,
I
yes.
want to learn.
Yes, yes. So what exactly
We
are
had-
the projects here in the Philippines?
Yeah, we had greening of the financial sector, the banking. We
Meaning adding more
Yes.
greens in their offices.
No.
Yeah, what does that mean?
What does that mean?
Green dollars?
Okay.
Yeah.
No. It's like this. Because when the bank lends out, like let's say somebody wants to put a plant operation,
Yes.
but the World Bank, especially if they're the ones who lend the money to, let's say, DBP or Land Bank, they require that there is a credit investigation, meaning, like let's say it's a mining company, and then they pollute the rivers. So naturally, the Department of Environment has to stop that. So operations will stop. So the borrower will not be able to pay the bank.
Yes, yes.
Because of the pollution. So that's what we mean by greening of,
So it has to
the
start
bank.
actually with a source.
Yeah,
So
the
that
bankers.
yeah, the
The
bankers, they
bankers.
won't lend the people anymore.
Yeah,
so
unless-
they'll have to
no.
do their own investigation.
No, they have to make sure that their borrower follows the law.
Yes, yes.
There are environmental laws, penalties, Clean Water Act, Clean Air Act, Solid Waste Act. All of these have to be followed, and you have to comply. Otherwise, you'll be penalized. And it used to be that when you pollute the river, you would pay 5,000 pesos. Now, and they would just pay the penalties, because even if you pay 5,000 penalties for 10 years, it's still cheaper than if you were to invest in a pollution abatement equipment. But now, the penalty is already 100,000. So
Make
they,
it stiffer.
Yes,
they,
yes.
they have to
Okay.
think twice.
So maybe the surroundings now are a little
Better, but still a long way to go.
yeah.
You were saying about the new way of collecting trash, or the way they
Ah.
can turn
There-
it into.
Yeah, we call it 3 Rs: reuse, recycle, and reduce.
Okay,
I
and
think
how is that
what
done?
is commendable is SM is leading, like with the green bag, the plastic,
Yes.
to avoid using the plastic bags.
And
all that.
Restaurants has it too.
And then
Yes,
you
ShopRite.
segregate, like in Germany, the bottles, they have a bin for orange, green, white bottles.
Oh,
and then
even
yeah,
colors?
Even colors, yes.
White, how so? Why so?
Bottles. No, because
the bottles.
just the bottles. But I saw in Taiwan and Japan, the ones where you drink water, the PET bottles,
Yes.
they recycle that. It's a big business. In fact, here they compress it, they send it to China, because just to set up a plant would cost 1 billion. I remember Undersecretary Tomas Aquino, because I think San Miguel for a time wanted to put that bottling plant. And he sent me an SMS, and I was in Jakarta, and he said, give me one good reason why the Philippines should invest in a recycling plant for the PET bottles. I answered him, why not? I mean,
Exactly,
yeah.
yeah.
So they've been in discussion, and until now, it's too bad it's not yet here. But we should. I should also commend Narda Camacho. We call her the mother and the queen of the basura. Because, she generates about 200 to 300 million a year
What does she? How does
of
she do that?
livelihood projects, giving livelihood work to those who collect the basura every Sunday. Yeah. They have the carreton.
Yeah.
They
Yes,
collect
yes.
it, and then they segregate the bottles, the cartons, and they give it to the factories. I had a research when I started in 1995 with the USAID with the
Yes.
paper mills.
Yes.
We used to import 85% of our secondary waste paper, but I was telling the plants, and then you return that to the plants. They reuse it instead of cutting trees. Okay, so
Yes,
that
yes.
saves. But imported. So I asked them, how come you are importing it?
Yes.
They said nobody is doing it. Nobody's collecting. Okay? So after a few years, Ayala Foundation initialized the collection of papers. And in the year 2000, when I did another UNIDO research, we found out that it was the other way around. 85% was already collected locally, and so you save dollars,
Yes.
you collect the papers, you don't cut the trees. So these are the small things that we can do that, so that we can help each
Yes.
other.
That's why they chose you for the job.
Speaking of
Nobody
Ayala,
was doing it.
Yeah. Speaking of Ayala Center, they also have the bags. Like when
Yes.
you get a discount card. So if you use it in certain shops, you get
Yes.
additional discount.
Yes, that's
And,
what's good.
yeah.
And the Philippine Business for Environment started the waste segregation,
Right.
and they're doing it in partnership with Ayala Foundation, with SM. SM
Yes.
is doing so well in
It
that.
kind of took us forever though. From the time that Hong Kong started having those green bags for the
Yes,
groceries,
yes.
it took us like 5 years for us to start practicing
It's
it
a
here.
paradigm shift. That's what
In China,
I remember. Yes.
yeah, in China, when you buy something, they don't give you a bag.
Yes.
In
So
fact,
you pay for the
it.
bag.
You
Yes,
pay
yes,
So
for
you
that
have to pay
makes
for the
you
bag.
want to bring
Bring
a bag that
something.
you have,
Yes.
which is a really good idea.
Yes.
Okay, so those green bags, you bring it every time you go to the grocery,
Yeah.
so that when they pack your things,
Right.
that's what they bring home.
Yes.
Yes,
So
yes,
yeah, and they give like 3 points. You are allowed like 3
Yes.
bags. In
Yes.
response, on certain days, like on Wednesdays in Makati for the grocery, you get double points of everything that can fit in your bag.
Exactly.
So they have really good incentives.
Yes, yes.
I'm glad that they have already done that to households, because in the factories that I used to mentor the factories. No, Ford Philippines would not put their parts in brown boxes and plastic bags. They had plastic bins. Their suppliers would bring it in, and then they would have their own plastic bins, and then they would return it to their supplier in
yes,
plastic
yes.
boxes. So,
So-
you don't throw it to the landfill. Remember, we had a problem with the landfill.
Yes,
So
yes.
that's safe. In Japan, they have eco towns, and we're trying to put that here also.
What are eco towns?
Those reuse, recycle, reduce.
Oh,
there
they're
are
called eco
But
each
we
town
have
will
space. We have space for that.
Actually, if you reduce, recycle, and reuse, you don't need to
Ah.
send that much to the landfill.
Okay, so if we segregate all our trash,
Yes.
the people who pick up the trash, do they? Because sometimes you
The
do your
basurero-
part,
public
then the basurero, they just pick up
dump-
everything and put it all
exactly.
together.
Yes, that's really a big frustration.
Yes.
But the one of Tita Narda, which is only every Sunday, they really segregate. So that's why we should be more active and probably help these people who segregate and talk to the mayors. We can tell the mayors that it's time that they segregate.
So it's a responsibility of each mayor in
Everybody,
each town.
everybody.
Yeah, like some villages have that. That's because the homeowners association
Yeah.
came up with it.
Yes.
Right?
Like in
So-
Forbes, they have zero waste
Yes.
basura.
So-
they want to attain. It's difficult to attain zero, but it's attainable if you have the desire,
Right.
if you have the commitment, just like anything.
Have you had any forum with the mayors of the country?
Somebody else is doing that, but we are trying to get there. And then also with Gawad Kalingad, because
Yes.
they lack sanitation, going back to my water and sanitation, they lack especially the sanitation equipment or devices that they put in the household. And at least now, Manila Water, remember we didn't have the sewerage
Yes.
system for a long time. Until now, Manila Water is already doing it. So slowly, we will get there, and hopefully everybody will be conscious about water and
Okay.
sanitation.
Whatever happened to the project of the First Lady Piso para sa Pasig?
The one
It
of
was
Mrs. Ramos?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
I think she for a while they were able to clean the Pasig River. Yes, but somebody's continuing that.
Lopez.
The Lopez group
Yeah,
of
she's actually working on cleaning up the whole
Gina?
Pasig area.
You mean
Yes,
Gina?
and And she has really good visions for it. She went to our Lakas seminar and she showed us all the plans.
Yes.
And
The
quite
DNR
impressive, so we should all support that.
The DNR had plans way back, even during the time of Angelo Reyes when he was the Secretary of he had this basin project. Because in my UN body,
Yes.
we have what you call IWRM, Integrated Water Resource Management, which has a program. Each country is mandated, supposed to have its own. And here in the Philippines, it has been launched. But I don't know if implementation, which is always, we have beautiful laws,
Yeah.
but when it comes to enforcement, that's where we're weak.
So that's where all the mayors come in, or
So
or do
that's
we
where
have a-
all the mayors come in. They have to have their integrated, like, I'll give you an example. They're trying to clean the Pasig River.
Yes.
If they don't clean Laguna and they don't clean Manila Bay, it's useless.
Yes,
because the
because it
tide
will-
will
yes,
be coming
yes.
back and forth. So it's a whole integrated system, and everybody has to contribute. In fact, they used to accuse industries they said they were the polluters. No, they're only 30 to 40% polluting the. It used to be, not now.
Yes.
They were the polluters, but it's households.
It's households.
60 to
That's-
70%
Yeah.
come from households. So it has to be households that have to be educated.
Okay, so let's say our audience who are watching, I mean, they feel maybe, you know, I'm just some small person here, but what exactly can they do?
That small person, like small drops of water, can contribute a lot if you do it together. That's why you segregate first your basura, and please don't throw your things in. It's
I
like
know.
a public.
You know,
really
every time I
hate
go to the
that.
barangays, I tell them, why are you throwing your
Exactly.
canals and all
Yeah.
that will be like
They make
dengue,
it their-
floods,
Yeah,
malaria.
floods.
They
You
make it
guys
their
live
landfill.
here.
Do you know there was this
Yeah.
commercial before, like this person kept throwing and throwing and throwing things, and then there was a flood, and then all the basura came back inside the
Right.
house.
That's
That was
exactly
such, you
what
know,
will
it was a
happen.
favorite commercial of
The
me, my
Sesame
mom. and
Street
my family.
one. Everyone did it, will it seem what a picky ugly. No
We're-
fun world is.
Probably we
ugly.
should revive that with your help, with your program.
Yeah.
I'm about to launch my global hand washing
Yes.
because
Yes.
probably we could launch
Yes,
it here
what
in your
is-
program.
Yes, sure. And
What I intend to do is probably we can. It has been launched, but
Okay.
you know people are not conscious. We have to relaunch and relaunch.
Right.
And what is that?
Okay.
Like, what will we do?
The whole time
the
you have to-
children are taught how to wash their hands like before eating or before.
Yes.
Just to be in the, because we're in water and sanitation.
Yes, yes.
Just to be sure that everything is clean for health purposes.
Yes.
For many reasons, okay? So, but at the same time, we want to have rainwater collection systems because some areas don't have water. So what's the use of launching the
Yes, yes.
hand washing if there's no water? Like I was telling my friends in Jakarta, we were brought to a restaurant and I was going to wash my hands and the water was brown.
Ew.
I said, brown? And then I told my companions, you're going to wash your hands here? Yeah, there's no other water. No. I said, I'll use my bottled water. So I got my drinking bottled water and used part of it to wash my
your
hands. So what's the use of, QT we were discussing that
We were discussing this.
about, the cleanliness and all that. So you have to start with the basics, with the right ones.
Yeah, so you think it was brown because
It
was
comes from
really
the
dirty.
deep well.
And but that's for washing.
And they don't filter it.
I mean, it's like in some
Yeah.
resorts here in the Philippines,
Yeah.
their water for flushing the toilet and everything is
That's
brown
all
because
right.
it's recycled.
That's all right.
Yes, but not for the faucet.
No, I've seen that in
Palawan.
In Berlin. They collect the rainwater in
Yes.
ponds. And then they store it underground. Those that they use for the toilets goes directly. Those that you will use like for washing,
Yes.
they filter. So
Ah,
there
I
are systems. We gave an award to Hilton Hotel in Cebu
Yes.
because they desalinate the water, they recycle their black and green water, and there are 3 awards that we gave them for, I think, reuse or something.
See, what a lot of people don't realize is when you wash your hands with just water, you're not cleaning your hands. You have to have soap. If you're just gonna wash your hands with water, you're like better off not washing your hands. Or you have to, anything's wet, it collects bacteria. So you have to dry your hands also. So if you go to like the coffee shop, Starbucks, Seattle's Best, all their signs say you must wash your hands before leaving the restroom, which is basic in all, like in the United States. it's like unlawful to not
Yes.
wash your hands.
But
right?
here sometimes in our comfort rooms, we don't have water. Or we don't
Soap.
have anything to
We never
wipe.
have soap.
There's maybe a soap dispenser, but there's no soap
I
inside.
carry soap in my purse because there's never soap.
Yes.
Yes.
So,
always.
sorry,
Yeah.
earlier you were talking about, did you mention green water? Or
Greening of the supply chain.
yes, or the color, did you mention?
The brown water.
Yes, brown water. Or did
Yes.
you say anything about green or black water? No.
Gray and
Gray?
black water. Yes.
What is that?
That's the wastewater that comes out of the toilet, the kitchen.
Yes.
I'm sorry. And you can recycle that. I'll tell you one story. We had a conference in Japan,
Yes.
and then I got a bottled water. And when I sat down in the forum, the Japanese speaker said, you know, the water we have here, we recycle it 6 times. 6 times. So I started returning my bottle. But Singapore,
Singapore,
who has
yeah.
no
Yes.
water,
Yeah.
recycles their
Recycle.
gray and black water.
Yeah, I know. I
yeah,
have it.
and you can actually
Drink it. I saw it in a conference in Mexico. Procter and Gamble, they had these tablets. The water was so brown. He dropped the tablet, and it became clear and white, and he drank it.
So at the CCP, right?
Yeah,
we
I
had
heard
Earth
about
Day.
that, yeah.
So the Singaporeans came over. They had a bottle of water for everyone. So because I was hosting it, it's like, okay, everybody drink your water. So I opened and drank. It's like, the water you just drank is actually like water from the toilet. I'm like, and so, you know, I started imagining that it had a smell and whatever.
Yeah.
I brought it home so I can give you some. It's in my fridge.
No, thank you.
I don't want to drink it anymore. but-
Okay, why did you bring it home?
because I just wanted, you know, if people say, can I drink? And I'll make them drink it. I'm like, oh, by the way,
Does it
that's
have a
what-
taste?
It has a little.
Is it
There's
sweet?
a little, like,
I don't know. I didn't
Okay,
know
give
this.
it to me.
Okay,
I
I'll
just
give it to you.
came from Singapore.
Yes.
And last night. And you know, the restaurants we would eat, I would ask myself, should I drink the water or not? Because I know they recycle, but I drank it. You know.
Okay, but how
what
will
do
you know if...
what do you mean water? Water from the bottle or water from their tap water? Their
That-
drinking water?
That's also filtered. Everything. In fact, I was telling you, they're starting now to charge the water. You know why? In Cebu, we mentored a hotel. Every morning, the waiter would pour, you know, water.
Yes, like before,
42
yeah.
glasses
Yes.
in each table. I mean, you know. So we told him, if the customers don't ask, don't
Don't
pour,
give, yes.
but put a sign. They might think you're stingy.
request.
Yes.
Put a sign that we're protecting the environment, preserving,
yes,
conserving water. They went down to 12 from 42,
Really?
12
Yeah.
a day.
Amazing.
The whole hotel was able to conserve 300 liters plus a month.
Imagine.
And that's just one hotel.
Yes.
So I have to go back to the hotel and restaurant industry
Yes, yes,
to
yes.
tell,
Yes.
because every time the waiter pours water,
Yeah, I know.
You
No, because actually before that was a practice that they would just serve water to everybody
Yeah.
until water became scarce and everything
expensive.
expensive and you would have to buy. And
Yes.
then now
Yes.
you really have to request.
Yes.
And
yes.
thankfully, the hotel